All right, we're going to talk about climbs, descents, level turns, and level accelerations, and we've already covered decelerations, but I just wanted to cover this topic as well. So as we're flying along, the natural instinct would be to kind of treat this thing like an airplane, especially in forward flight. I'm here to tell you don't do that. So let's see what happens if I try and climb at a 500 foot per minute rate of climb. Pull a little bit out of cyclic. Notice my airspeed is slowing down. All right, I can do this, but I really don't want to do that. Maybe I want to climb at 100 knots. Maybe I want to climb at 90 knots. Whatever. I want to maintain my altitude in the climb, especially if I need to really climb. So let's pull up to about 1,000 foot now. Notice that the airspeed's really starting to fall off. I'm climbing, but the airspeed's starting to drop fairly quickly here. May or may not stabilize at some point. But let's see. Let's see how far it'll go here. Holding that rate of descent, rate of climb. Yep, slowed back, slowed back, slowed back. All right, so that's not really ideal. So how do we do this? Let me just drop the nose. I'm going to regain my airspeed. There we go. A little bit of pedal for trim. All right, so to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to increase the collective to climb. So let me get it trimmed back up here. Trim, there we go. All right, we're at 72% torque. I'm going to increase the collective. Let's see what we get for 500 foot. So 72 up to about 82. So about a 10% increase got me 500 foot per minute rate of climb. That's about right, because for every 2% torque, it's roughly 100 foot per minute rate of climb. So we've got that going for us, and I'm maintaining my my entry airspeed, right? Now, if I want to level off, all I got to do is reduce the collective just a little bit. Adjust my pedals as well, because that's also going to require a thing. And I'm also going to have to adjust the cyclic and pitch just a little bit too, because generally as you increase the collective, nose wants to rise. If you decrease the collective, nose wants to fall. All right, so you kind of have to counteract those motions when you're doing all of this. Not only that, but you're making power change, so you're going to have to adjust the pedals as well. Increasing collective, left pedal. Decreasing collective, right pedal. All right, so now I'm going to descend. So I'm going to reduce the collective. Oop, got a little aggressive on the pedals there. 500 foot per minute rate of descent, level descent, coming on down, a little bit more pedal. And then I can trim, and I maintain my entry airspeed, and I do a nice gentle descent. Now when I want to level off, I'm going to have to increase the collective, a little bit of half cyclic, just to kind of help the aircraft out a little bit. A little bit of left pedal, trim, and there we go. We're maintaining our desired airspeed and leveled off now. Okay, so let's take a look at the side view here real quick. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do it because of track IR. Well, anyway, you can see that the rotor disc is tilted forward, right? So there's going to be a vertical component of thrust and a horizontal component of thrust. I control that with the rotor disc. So I'm moving the cyclic fore and aft here, right? So if I want to go forward at a set speed, I have to continuously apply forward cyclic to direct the thrust such that I get the required horizontal thrust to overcome the drag of the airframe and get to the desired airspeed, right? Not only that, but as I'm doing this, as I'm applying that forward cyclic, I'm going to have to increase the collective to maintain my altitude, because that vertical component of thrust is becoming less and less as I keep applying that forward cyclic. All right, so that's where that power part of it comes in. So if I want to accelerate the helicopter, I'm going to start increasing the collective, a little bit of forward cyclic, trying to maintain that level VSI, left pedal for trim, left pedal, there we go. Keep in level VSI, bring the power in. We're going to stop at about 96% trim and just kind of see where it all shakes out here as far as airspeed and the like goes. A little bit more forward cyclic. Right there. All right, so 120 knots is what we're looking at now. So it's about right. looking here, you can see that I've got a lot more forward tilt to the rotor disc. I increased the collective to balance the weight of the helicopter with thrust, and we're moving. All right, so now to decel, we're just going to reduce the collective, a little bit aft cyclic, right pedal, maintain that level VSI. All right, a little bit more collective here, a little bit more collective reduction actually, right pedal, right there, trim. All right, oh, we're still descending, so I need a little bit more aft cyclic, maybe a little bit more collective, right about there, trim. All right, cool, and we're set. Level, maintaining our back to our 105 knots, which is what we started at. Now, another thing to keep in mind, we've been talking about, changing the angle of the thrust and all that kind of stuff with the rotor disc. As I start to bank the aircraft over, I'm going to have to also increase collective, or I'm going to have to trade off airspeed. So if I bank the aircraft over, more and more and more and more, trim ball is going to fall off. Notice that I'm starting to descend. Now I have to start pulling aft cyclic. I'm trading off airspeed now to try and maintain my altitude. Okay. Alternatively, we can increase the collective as well, but we will hit a point of diminishing returns the steeper the bank angle gets. Once we get up to about 60 degrees angle of bank, our power requirement doubles. So if I was at 60%, now I have to actually pull 120% to maintain a level VSI at my desired airspeed, right? So you either have to trade off airspeed to maintain your altitude, or you're going to have to progressively apply more and more collective to maintain your altitude. So you can see I'm pulling 95%. It was around 62-ish%, 65%, somewhere in there at 105 knots. So we've increased our power quite a bit. And I'm not even in trim here. There we go. So now let's get the aircraft in trim. Yep, see, we keep exceeding our limits here. So, yeah. All right, so now take the pedal out, reduce the collective back to our start point. Woo, way out of trim. A little bit more pedal there. And there we go. Trim. All right, so key takeaways. We don't climb with the cyclic. It's not how we do that in helicopters. There are times and places for it, like if I need to do a kind of a rapid maneuver, say someone shoots me from over there and I need to get away, sure, establish a nose above the horizon, roll the aircraft over, keep the aircraft in trim to the best of your ability, allow the aircraft to start to accelerate, trade off some of that airspeed to gain some that altitude to gain some airspeed, and get out of the danger zone, right? That's kind of one of those times where, yeah, you could do that. Let me trim. There we go. Got the SAS saturate message. That's a collective channel. That's why. All right, cool. Still doing that. A little bit more pedal here. And trim. So yeah, there's a time and a place where you may do that, but under normal conditions, no, you're just going to increase that collective, a little bit of pedal, establish your desired rate of climb, maintain a level attitude to maintain your desired airspeed, and that's how you climb. And conversely, that's also how you descend. As you increase the angle of bank, you're going to have to increase the collective, or you're going to have to give up airspeed to maintain your altitude. That's really about it. All right. Have a good one.